Hello everyone. Bonjour à tous. Donc je m'appelle Johanna et je suis votre professeure de français pour aujourd'hui. So I'm Johanna, will be your French teacher for today. I do live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Central European time, and 12 a.m. Standard China time. So, we do class for beginner for online, and we did like already 2 lessons that you can find on the live playlist of the channel. If you like the content I do, you can visit the Polyglot French website at joinpolyglot.com/French. You can find there a lot of content for you to have an immersion in the French language. So podcasts, books, you can find YouTube video on the channel, a lot of different resources. You can also follow them on the social media, Instagram, Polyglot French. On Polyglot French Instagram, you have some reels, some little video, and everything. Now, today's lesson is Tu habites où? Or, if I can say it like more correctly, Tu habites où? Okay, if you remember when you ask a question in French, your voice raised at the end. So, Tu habites où means where do you live? Okay, so today we're gonna learn how to say where you live. Okay, so let's have a little recap from last week. If you follow the class, if you were there, if you were not, like, you can find the lesson as I told you on the channel, on the live playlist. So we learn how to introduce yourself. So how do you say my name is Theo, I am Mexican, and I am a student, if you remember. Let's see if you can remember or if you know. Just try to answer that question. I will let you a little bit of time to reflect. So my name is Theo, I'm Mexican, and I'm a student. Well, je m'appelle Théo. Je suis français. Je suis étudiant. Okay? So, je m'appelle is my name is. Okay? Je suis français is I am French. Je suis étudiant is I am a student. Okay? So it's the verb être, to be. Now, if the other person, if you meet someone new again, if she asks you, Tu habites où? Meaning, where do you live? Okay, where do you live? Well, now what can you answer? Maybe you can begin to see how the French grammar is structured. Habite is a verb, okay? You know now some pronouns. Tu as you, but it's an informal you, okay? The formal you is vous, okay? So you now begins to understand that the grammar might change depending on the subject. So, how do I say I? Well, if you remember, I is je. Okay? Donc, j'habite à Toulouse en France. Now, if you don't know Toulouse, that's a very beautiful city in the south of the France. Okay? Um, so, j'habite à Toulouse. Je is I. Now, if you notice here, you can see that it's not the usual je that we saw, which was G-E. Now it's G with a little thing like that. Well, it's because here you have a vocal, the sound A. When you have a vocal with je et tu, with je, sorry, with je, you don't pronounce the E. So you don't say je habite, you'll say j'habite. Okay? Because the French don't really like to combine two vocal sounds. Okay? So they will use they prefer when it's a consonantic and a vocal. So ja instead of je, especially when it's a e, the sound e. Okay? So j'habite à Toulouse en France. Okay? As you can notice too, you can notice a pattern in the verb. Okay? Où tu habites? J'habite à Toulouse. Okay? So, you have the conjugated form of the verb here. Tu habites, j'habite. Okay? J'habite à Toulouse en France. Et toi? I live at Toulouse, in Toulouse in France. Toulouse, France. And what about you? And you? J'habite à Lima, au Pérou. Okay? So, you notice too that there is some preposition, some little word that introduce the city or the country. Okay? We don't say j'habite Lima, Pérou. No. J'habite à Lima, au Pérou. But if you notice here, do you notice any difference? J'habite à Toulouse, en France. J'habite à Lima, au Pérou. Do you notice a difference? Yeah, there is a difference, okay? J'habite à Paris. J'habite en France. Et j'habite au Pérou. Okay? It's not the same sound. En, au, à. Or if I say it in the same order, à, en, au. Okay? So, it's a different sound. Okay? It doesn't sound the same and it doesn't write the same. So, why is there that difference? What's the difference between Paris, Paris, and France, Peru. France and Peru, okay? I guess it's Peru. I hope. Yeah, so Paris is different than France, Peru. France et Peru. What's the difference? Quelle est la différence? Wow. Paris est une ville. Ok. La France et le Pérou, ce sont des pays. Okay. So, Paris is a city and France and Peru are countries. So, that's the difference. Why you say à Paris, but France and Peru are also different. Why is that? Well, there is that because in France, some countries are feminine, some countries are masculine. Okay. You probably already heard about the article la, le, la baguette, or le restaurant. Okay? Those are articles. Okay? In French, la is feminine. La France. Le Pérou. Okay, you might ask why. Is there like some country that has more feminine vibe or masculine vibe? It's not exactly that. There is a rule, don't worry. Okay, but so just know that for now, city is feminine countries en, masculine countries o. Okay, which is 3 different sounds. So, la is feminine, but it's also singular, okay? It's when there is one feminine entity, okay? Le is masculine, okay? And remember that we have that little article, that little le, which is in front of a vocal, of a word that start with a vocal, okay? So that's for singular, la ou le, ou l apostrophe, okay? Now you have plural. Plural is les, okay? Doesn't pronounce les, is pronounced les. Okay. So, you have la, le, and les. La, feminine plural, le, masculine, la, feminine singular, sorry, le, masculine singular, and les, which is the plural. So that will that's a rule that doesn't apply only to countries. It applies to everything, every nouns, every French nouns. Okay, every French noun is either masculine or feminine, and it will change a lot of things in the grammar. But we're not there yet. So for now, we're just gonna focus on country. That will be something we'll see later too, obviously, but we're gonna begin with just the countries. Okay, so you have la France, le Pérou, but also les États-Unis, the United States of America. Why is it plural? Well, because it's some countries are considered like an ensemble of different states, different countries. So some countries, not a lot. Usually, the most famous are les États-Unis or les Philippines. Okay. While les Philippines, because um, it's different. A lot of little island put together, like les Seychelles, aussi, también, too. So yeah, some countries are plural, some countries are singular. Let's see now how those are work. You have l'Italie, la Roumanie, la Chine, le Brésil, le Sénégal et le Japon. No, every countries at the top are feminine. Every country at the bottom are masculine. Okay? Why is that? What do you notice in the pattern, in the way the words are constructed? There is something that is um, uh, a pattern in the French countries, feminine countries, sorry. So l'Italie, if you remember, has a little thing like that because it starts with a vocal. But that doesn't mean it's not a genre. It's still feminine, okay? So l'Italie, la Roumanie et la Chine sont féminins. Why? What do you notice? Well, what you can notice is that, okay? They end with a ni, okay? So you can maybe begins to know the rule. Well, bonjour Benjamin. Well, we're gonna see if that's correct or not. J'habite en Mexique. Because there is some exceptions, and Mexico is one of them. So, l'Italie, la Roumanie, la Chine ends with E. So you can already imagine the rule for that rule. Yeah, the rule for that grammar lesson of today. When it ends with the E, it's a feminine country. When it ends with another vocal or consonantic, like Brésil, Sénégal, or Japon, okay? On is a vocal, but it's not an E. Okay? So, E means, at the end, means feminine. The other are masculine. But there is some exception. Now, if you notice here, le Cambodge, le Mexique, le Mozambique, le Zimbabwe, le Belize et le Suriname ends with E. But they are masculine. Okay, that's some exception. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. Okay, so those few country ends with E, but they are masculine. The other, it works like that. E feminine. Okay. There is also some countries that doesn't have any genre. They don't have an article. Le ou la ou les. They are, if you notice, Cuba, Madagascar, Taiwan. What do they have in common? Well, they are islands, okay? Cuba is an island, Madagascar is an island, and Taiwan too. Those island, most of the island, but I don't want to say every one of them, okay? Because some doesn't. But most of them don't have any article. It's gonna change what like preposition you use, okay? So those are island. They don't have any article. They pretty much work like cities, okay? So, j'habite à Cuba, okay? À, like j'habite à Paris. J'habite à Paris, okay? Let's see with some, let's have a little exercise with some countries, other countries. You have Chili, Australie, Malaisie, Grèce, Inde, et Mexique. So Chile, Australia, Malaysia, Greece, India, and Mexico. Okay. Now try to define if that's masculine, le or elle with the thing, or feminine, la plus l, or l if it begins with a vocal. Okay. So, do you think Chile? What do you think? Is it feminine or masculine? I will let you decide. Australie. Is it masculine, feminine? Malaisie. Is it feminine, masculine? Grèce. Inde. Et Mexique. There might be a little trick in those. If you remember, there are some exceptions. And one of them is an exception. Okay? Which one it is? Well, so we have le Chili. Okay? It ends with a vocal, but it's not E, I, the letter E. So, masculine, okay? Now, Australia, l'Australie. It ends with the E, but we have the little vocal, okay? So, it's feminine, okay? Even though it's just the L, it's still feminine. It's still considered as a feminine country. We have Malaysia, la Malaisie. We have Greece, la Grèce, and with the E. Guatemala, le Guatemala. Okay, ends with a vocal, but it's not an E. And the end, le Mexique. It ends with an E, but is an exception. Okay, so it's le Mexique. Le Mexique. Now, what is the article with États-Unis, the United States of America, or ou Philippines? What is the article that you put before les États-Unis or Philippines? Those countries are considered like an ensemble, like a pack of different either island or states. Okay, that's why they are plural. Well, les. Okay? Les États-Unis, les Philippines. Okay? Those are plural countries. So, you can see here different way to say where you live. It's gonna depend on if that's a city, if that's a country, but if that's country, is it feminine, masculine, or plural? Which is pretty rare, but it's still it has a proper article, rule, preposition. So, j'habite à Milan. Okay. Or j'habite à Cuba. As I told you, those islands are considered like not as cities, but they function with the same rule. Okay. J'habite à Milan ou j'habite à Cuba ou j'habite à Paris, j'habite à New York, j'habite à Los Angeles, Pékin, Tokyo, etc., etc. Okay? When you want to say where you live as a city, you say j'habite à. Okay? J'habite à. When you want to when you want to give some precision about the country you live in, j'habite en plus feminine countries, like j'habite en France. J'habite au, okay, the sound au. J'habite au Pérou, when it's masculine country. Or j'habite aux Philippines, when j'habite au plus a plural country. It doesn't change much, as you can tell. O and O are the same sound. What can change is when there is a vocal, but we're not gonna get there yet because today's lesson is the preposition at the beginning of a country or a city. Okay, so we're not gonna see everything, so you can consider it's the same sound. Au Pérou, aux Philippines. Okay, so j'habite au Mexique. Exactly. Okay, j'habite au plus masculine country. Exactly. It's the exception. So, let's have a little test. Tu habites où? Milan, France, États-Unis, Japon, Italy, New York. This time, I'm not gonna let you choose the article. I'm gonna let you choose the preposition. Okay? The preposition are à, en, au, au. Okay? So, which one do you choose in that exercise? Okay? J'habite, as I live in. Okay? So, in is the same as a preposition. So, after a verb, sometimes you have to have a preposition to give more precision. And that's exactly what we are doing there. Okay? Donc, j'habite Milan. Now, what's Milan? Is it a city? Is it a country? What do you do in that case? You can answer in the chat if you want. okay? Or you can also try at home on a paper, and we're gonna see the correction a bit later, okay? So, Milan, j'habite France, j'habite États-Unis, j'habite Japon, j'habite Italie ou j'habite New York. So, I will habite au Milan. So, it's not that, but I guess you use the final N to understand it's a masculine. But remember, it's a city. So, j'habite à Milan. Okay? But like great thinking. But it's j'habite à Milan. J'habite en France. Correct? Yeah. J'habite en France. No, United States. What it is. I remind you that United States is plural. So, j'habite aux États-Unis. Okay? Plural. Japon, j'habite au Japon. Italy, j'habite en Italie. New York is a city. J'habite à New York. Okay? So our feminine countries are France and Italy. Okay? Our masculine country is Japan, Japon. And the other, Milan and New York, are cities. Okay. Okay, so if you remember how to introduce yourself, what's your name? Comment vous vous appelez? Et vous habitez où? You can answer either in the comments if you're watching the video later, or in the chat if you're now. Comment vous vous appelez et où vous habitez? Okay. If you notice, I didn't say tu. Comment tu t'appelles? Où tu habites? I say vous. Why? Because vous is the formal you, but it also means every one of you. Okay, so plural you. There is differences in French between tu, which is one person, and vous, which is several person. Okay. So it's also I conjugated the verb different, if you notice. It's gonna be for another lesson, but here we are. It's a different conjugation and different sound. Vous habitez où? Okay. So now you know how to introduce yourself and to say where you live. Okay. Let's end with a little quiz. Is it right or is it wrong to say j'habite à Milan, au Italie? Is it right? Is it wrong? It's wrong. Why? J'habite à Milan, en Italie. Okay? Because au is masculine, en is feminine. Okay? So, en. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Je m'appelle Benjamin et j'habite au Mexique. Great. Okay, great job. Okay. So, well, we done with today's lesson. So, tu habites où? J'habite. Now you know how to say where you live. Either it's a country, in a city, country, feminine, masculine, plural. Okay. And I hope you enjoy this today's lesson. Uh, I'm doing class every Wednesday on this channel, so I hope to see you at that time. Okay, I will like maybe up show you the power again. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you can find us on social media, Polyglot French, the channel, or Polyglot French on Instagram, and you can meet me every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Central European time, or 12 a.m. Standard China time. Okay, we'll do a lesson for beginners to begin with. Okay, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you have a great day or a great night. And I wish you also a good week, and I see you next Wednesday. Okay. Salut. Au revoir.